What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Hyperspace Hype. We are at episode 18 now. Always crazy to see the number go up, but this is really exciting. A very shattering episode indeed. We're going to be talking about the new episode of the Clone Wars, and it's going to be really great. Got our full cast of crew here. Joining us, we got Brandon.
Hey, everyone. It's good to be back. Ready to talk Clone Wars with you guys. It's crazy to believe that we're 3 days away. Well, 2 days away from the finale. I'm ready to get into it. Let's go.
Also joining us, we got Evan.
We're 2 days away from the finale and something else on that day. I really don't remember what it is. I wonder what it is. Yeah, this was a great week. I finished my spring semester of college, and then this episode was a great way to end the week for me. Very emotional, but really great episode to kind of like deep dive into it. Can't wait to talk about it.
Also joining us, we got Carson.
I think we all should just have Dave Filoni hats on Monday. We'll just make it happen, or we'll like draw them in on the background. We'll like make like backgrounds. We'll have Dave Filoni hats in celebration of both Evan's birthday and the Clone Wars finale. But yeah, we're back, and I am still shattered from my schedule. Like staying up, so, like it was my first time staying up for an episode, and like wasn't uploading, and I'm sure Nathan will get into this later, but his computer like wouldn't load for at least 30 minutes, and we're all up at 4 a.m. Anyways, let's jump into this. Shattered. I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah, let's jump into my very shattered, depressing night of Disney Plus blocking me. I don't know what I literally tried. Like every other website worked, and I tried various browsers on my computer. Disney Plus wouldn't load. I don't know. It was weird.
Wow.
Which is annoying. So I had to watch my edit file when it finally dropped. So it was still fine, still great, still emotional, still very sad.
How many times are we going to say shattered in this episode?
Enough.
Well, if we don't say it anymore, I'm going to be shattered.
Oh, Jesus.
So this was a big episode. There's a lot to talk about. Just kicking off, essentially, we are officially have left Mandalore, which is, I thought we might stick around a bit longer. I thought Order 66 would have gone down on the surface, but
I do too.
Me
and we
too.
were speculating how are they gonna leave? And then 2 minutes into the episode, they're just taking off. I'm like, oh no, this is not.
My assumption was wrong. I thought when Maul did that leap forward towards Ahsoka, I thought that's when the Palpatine and Mace fight happened, but nope.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
An entire dedicated segment.
Yeah. But I mean, let's talk about everything on Mandalore, though, because there's some good stuff there. I like seeing Gar Saxon getting taken away, and then him just keep looking back at Bo-Katan like he's super angry. But it was kind of funny because Gar Saxon, we know he ends up alive in Rebels, so he's kind of being taken prisoner right into the hands of the people he eventually commands and serves in Emperor Sidious. Do you guys think he like talks his way to Sidious when he gets captured? Or did you talk to somebody else and they're like, oh, yeah, you're kind of commander now? Because like when everything goes to shit, like he still technically would be on that transport ship. So do they just like not shoot at him or something? It's very interesting because we do get a longer version of the Order 66 directive, which we'll talk about later. But like I guess Gar Saxon and them aren't really included in that, really. What do you guys think?
Right, because he's on the transport. Would they even react? Like, I just don't know what it's gonna like.
I mean, technically, none of them are Jedi or Force wielders. So, like, Order 66, like Evan said, we're gonna get into it. More of like a directive of what Order 66 fully is, but they're not Force wielders. So, my guess is they were still taken prisoner, but later freed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would have been so awkward. Yeah, Gar Saxon looking around like, why are you guys? What's going on here? Yeah.
So it was cool. I think we got a little cameo helmet off of Ursa Wren.
Yeah, yeah. I made a note about that because I remember like 2 or 3 episodes ago, I was like, are we finally going to see her without her helmet on? Because we saw her in that Ahsoka arc just like talking. And we didn't even know it was Ursa Wren until the credits came on. Right. And, so yeah, finally we get to see her, and she looks like an Order Sabine kind of. I really like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really cool to see. And then, but mainly continuing on, we are taking Maul. He's captured. We're taking him in this really interesting looking containment unit. It was apparently from a Bo-Katan said from a bygone era of having to contain force wielders.
Force wielding maniacs, as the proper term.
Right. Oh, we don't say that anymore. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Just like I wonder if something like that might pop up in the High Republic era if we were to ever get there down the road.
Well, speaking of High Republic area, I think we're gonna get some. I think Dave Filoni has a trick up his sleeve, is saying when Bo-Katan says that was the last one. I guarantee you. I don't know if I brought this up on last episode or just offline, but the fall of Mandalore post Order 66, like how do they get to the point in the Mandalorian? It's like, what if we see something? Because Palpatine's after a lot of like Force relics and stuff in that era, so I wonder if like there's going to be something where Mandalore becomes more of a threat, or something rises on Mandalore that is unexpected.
That's the thing that gets me is like, I honestly thought with how much Republic control was on Mandalore just now, I honestly thought that was when the Empire would basically take over Mandalore, like when Moff Gideon said the Mandalorian. I thought that was going to be right there, but it's going to have to be down the line now.
Yeah.
Like Carson was saying.
Maybe. Do you guys think we'll see that? Like, is this the last time we'll see Bo-Katan in Clone Wars? Because
I think so.
It's so tragic.
I think we're on our own set path now with specifically Ahsoka and Rex.
I think we're going to get, and definitely, I feel like it was just the last shot of her was like perfect for the end of Clone Wars for her character.
It really was, yeah.
But honestly, I think the more I watch this ending arc of Clone Wars, the more I kind of see like the potential for like Mandalore stuff in the season 2 of Mandalorian, and how they could kind of tie in some, not even just flashbacks, but in terms of like having some of these characters in live action and like having that baggage of all this, and especially the Empire reign on them. And so I think it's going to weave in a lot more than we think.
Okay. I mean, I hope so. Like, I think we'll at least be there for like an episode or two. I mean, that would just be interesting. Like, I think there's a higher chance we'll go to Mandalore than Yoda's home planet.
Yeah, right. And I think it's more going to be like, to kind of like show that, because we don't really know what all Din Djarin has experienced. So like, we know like, when he was first brought to the Mandalorians and stuff, but I think there's a lot of questions that we have in terms of like what types of Mandalorians are left in the galaxy right now, because I think he's being pulled in a lot of different ways, and we discussed this back in our Mandalorian episode. But I think it'd be cool to have like the baggage of those kind of Mandalorians kind of fight against him in contrast to whatever we see in season 2.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I also like that line from Bo-Katan where she says, like, I wish I was good at something other than war.
Good line.
It kind of parallels exactly what Rex and Ahsoka talk about like a scene or two later when they're talking about the Clone Wars and how that infected them. But yeah, Bo-Katan, I feel she's just such a tragic character in the sense that all she really has known is war. Like, she had to fight off the Death Watch, fight off the corruption of Mandalore. And then she fought off Maul and his like Mandalorians. And then hours later, presumably, or maybe days later, she has to fight off like the clones who turned evil, like the clones, then the Empire. So up until the end of Rebels, and even beyond, all she's really known is conflict and war.
Yeah, and being in the shadow of Satine's kind of ruling style and kind of everything that her ideals brought. I think there's a line in this episode where like, I never understood my sister's politics or something.
Yeah, I like that line too. Yeah. I hope we do get a Satine and Bo-Katan like tale, like a comic book or audio book or something, because there's a lot to mine from there. And you can combine that with the possible Obi-Wan and Satine mission, like when they first met. Maybe Bo-Katan was there. I don't know. That'd be fun.
It would.
Could be good.
I think we have more Bo-Katan. Because didn't Katie Sackhoff tweet like, just did something today and I can't talk about it? And like, okay.
Mandalorian season 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
Probably.
Whenever she talks about it, she's like, I can't say anything. It's like, yeah.
Meanwhile, Tim Witwer's out here talking about, oh yeah, there's gonna be another hallway scene.
He doesn't care.
I didn't remember him saying that.
He said it on his Twitch stream tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we'll get into all that. But so moving forward, we get off Mandalore, and then we are thrown right into a Revenge of the Sith scene with the holograms of the Jedi.
Yes,
that was
great scene.
Pretty great. Like, not only it's like the same like words from the actual film, but then you get like a little further beyond that, and the fact it's going to be fun to rewatch Revenge of the Sith, knowing just seconds after that scene ends, Ahsoka pops right up.
The further continuation that Mace Windu is a dick.
Oh yeah, that's what
it's a certain.
That's the main consensus we all have with a little add-on of that scene, and it hurts seeing Ahsoka's like is this in the scene? Does she say like not yet? That like
at the very end
to Yoda or whatever.
Yeah.
So it just hurts kind of like seeing where her head is at, and kind of like everything she's been through in this season in terms of like doubting the Jedi, obviously, and kind of getting it from a new perspective. And then in this scene, just like I love that like the holograms fade away and then Yoda's the last one. I love that kind of just like
great.
You see some guilt in Yoda, and it kind of just it hurts.
Yeah,
somebody actually brought up a Rebels parallel with that scene, just like the way Ahsoka leaves off from Yoda is the same from when she sees Yoda in Rebels. It's framed the same.
Yeah,
that's right.
He says like, "May the Force be with you," and she turns around, and that's really good. Like it kind of mirrors kind of what Obi-Wan was expressing emotionally in that last episode, where he's talking to Ahsoka, and Ahsoka says like, "We shouldn't follow the Chancellor. Anakin wouldn't like this." And Obi-Wan's like, I mean, you're kind of right. Like you can see Obi-Wan expressing regret in that last episode when he was talking to Ahsoka. Then same thing for Yoda here. You can kind of see like opposite of Mace. He expresses regret about what happened to Ahsoka. He kind of knows he's in the wrong. He kind of got that at the end of the Ahsoka arc. You can kind of tell like Yoda was like, we kind of messed up here.
Mm-hmm.
But even here, you can see that Yoda's like, goodbye, Padawan. Like he still considers her a Jedi. He really much loves her, and he expresses regret because he knows like literally what he said like in lines before this. He was like, "We're going down a dark path, and it's kind of too late." This is why I like Revenge of the Sith, Yoda, and Obi-Wan the most compared to like Attack of the Clones, because they're still being clouded over the dark side, but they're still kind of expressing that regret that it's kind of too late to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Another thing during this meeting. Like, there are so many moments throughout this arc already. Had Ahsoka talked to Anakin or said something. If Mace Windu wasn't a dick, I'm telling you, if Mace Windu didn't be like, oh, shut up, civilian, she would have spilled the beans about something. And everything would have been thrown out of whack, and the galaxy would have been peaceful.
I wonder
it's
about
still too late. It's still too late.
Yeah, I think...
Because think about the timing.
Yeah, the timing is all like at that point. Did Palpatine reveal himself to Anakin already?
He was on it. That was happening like right at that time.
He was walking into the room as that happened.
That's where Mace sent him to go.
Mace sent him. He's like, oh yeah, he just left to tell the Chancellor that Obi-Wan engaged Grievous, waiting to hear back from him. So at that exact moment, he walked in there. But even after Palpatine kind of told him the truth. Had Ahsoka told Yoda, be like, "Hey, Maul had this vision. I need you to really talk to Anakin." I think if Yoda heard about that, he would have been like on the next flight out of Kashyyyk.
I don't think so, because like at that point, Anakin's still going to cut off Mace Windu's hand. Mace Windu's not going to do anything. He might not trust Anakin as much as he did in that moment, but
Yoda would be there this time.
I don't think so. There's so much going on. Like, what's Yoda doing at that point that Mace Windu's getting killed? Like,
Yoda was on Kashyyyk.
Wasn't the Battle of Kashyyyk happening at that?
Yeah. I mean, he's
still about to go down.
Kashyyyk isn't that close to Coruscant.
I mean, but still, he's just. You have an entire because he leaves. He talks to Palpatine like the afternoon, and then he goes to talk to Mace like an hour later, and then they confront him at nighttime.
Good point. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting how it all plays out, man.
Yeah.
to the point of had Ahsoka gotten a chance to discuss. I do feel like since Anakin does have that whole pondering scene while Mace is going to confront Sidious, I feel like in a moment of time like that, if Ahsoka did have a chance to communicate with Anakin, probably could have had some extra leeway on top of already, would be hearing good vibes from Obi-Wan and Padme. So it's it's all heartbreaking because we know where things go.
Yeah, I just think it's too late for Anakin. At that point. He's so obsessed. Yeah,
Palpatine obviously has been holding the cards this entire time, but all he's waiting on is Anakin, and basically he's already sealed that. And so all he's waiting on to call Order 66 is Anakin in the right moment. And I think as much as we want to believe that, an Ahsoka interjection could have swayed him, I still think it's just would have been delaying the inevitable, because we think about his mindset for Padme and saving Padme and all that stuff. He's so far into that. I don't know.
Yeah, Padme trumps everything. Yeah,
I think it comes down to the perspective that each character brings, because any time he's talking with Obi-Wan, it is a good friendship, but also at the same time it's a mentor figure. It's not really the deep personal level, because he's not even open about how he's with Padme.
Yeah.
And whenever he's around Padme, his whole mindset is, I had a vision like my mother, she's going to die, so he's just stressed out every time. I feel like if he had the friend like Ahsoka, that could help out a little.
Or like Qui-Gon, I think if anybody wanted to change anything about Anakin's trajectory, it was having Qui-Gon around.
Having Qui-Gon would have mentor, being the master.
Yeah, that would have probably changed a lot. Obi-Wan is a great master. He's a great brother to Anakin, but Qui-Gon is able to have that more of a empathy and sympathy with his situation.
With disagreement in the council and being
exactly
Jedi ways in general.
Obi-Wan was way too early way too early too.
Yeah, which is tragic about Obi-Wan. He had no choice but to join the council at such a young age because his master died, and he's such a good Jedi. So,
have you guys seen that channel, the episode, that video by Channel Awesome's what if Qui-Gon ended up training Anakin? But in this fight, Obi-Wan would have been the one getting killed, and basically Anakin would have gone. Anakin would have been there to witness it, and Anakin would have unleashed his force powers on Darth Maul and basically killed Darth Maul there, which is so much built up, with built up rage and Phantom Menace. Yeah,
I think in an instance where if Anakin was trained by Qui-Gon, he would have more of a balanced viewpoint of between Jedi and just normal living, as opposed to the suppression life of the Jedi to just conceal all that.
Yes, but also read Master and Apprentice. And Qui-Gon is a great master, but also he doubts himself way more than you guys think. I think there's a lot in that book that he feels a lot of responsibility towards Obi-Wan that he can't fulfill maybe. And there's a lot of good stuff, especially in the beginning of that book, that kind of dives into that.
A lot of self-doubt. Yeah, he's a very complicated guy.
We have a couple chat messages from Olivinsky, who said it's really amazing to watch all of this through Ahsoka's eyes, knowing her history and the future. It's gripping. Yes, it really is.
Yeah, that's what I love about this whole arc. We're seeing it through Ahsoka's eyes. This is exactly what I wanted, especially with that scene.
Cal Kestis.
No Cal Kestis.
No. Excuse me. We have one more episode.
We do.
Well, as I said, every time I'm like, hey, I really would like to see something. But then the Filoni is a master and he just does his own thing. I'm just like, oh yeah, that was better, of course.
R7 shows up, R7 pops up and you're like, all right. Settle down.
We have one more episode.
But yeah, we didn't see Plo Koon getting his ship crashed.
Brandon's like, it's coming, and we're gonna see it.
It already happened, I think. By this point, maybe.
At this point, yeah.
But yeah, just we see it through Ahsoka and Rex's eyes, and I love that shot of them just looking at the hyperspace while this is all going around. That's after the scene, but yeah, such a great shot.
Okay, so moving from the Jedi scene, actually, I thought it was interesting. The whole atmospheric music, the whole soundtrack of this episode was phenomenal. The atmospherics when they're heading onto the ship, it's a lot of a somber theme that sounded similar to like when Anakin's sitting in the empty council chamber.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Music expert, I know.
Yeah.
You say that again?
You remember? Oh yeah, the song Padme's Ruminations. Basically, when Anakin's staring out the window and Padme's looking over. It's basically that music, but just like mellowed out to where it's like barely recognizable.
Which makes it even more scary when they have like all the close-up shots of the marching clones just like in full command of the ship, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Like I was watching them, like, holy crap, how are they going to escape this? Like, this ship is massive. There's so many clones here. Like, oh my god, my heart was just sinking.
And they're in hyperspace, and Darth Maul's on board.
And Darth Maul's on board, and all like hell, even all the officers. Like you don't have an officer like Yularen. They're all cloned.
Nope. Yeah. I wonder. Quick question: what would have happened if like an officer like Yularen was there? Like he's not part of Order 66, right? He just like.
Well, I mean, Yularen stuck around for the Empire because he was on the Death Star. So
yeah, I wonder what he did.
I think he still. I mean, no, he wouldn't have been. He doesn't have an inhibitor chip, but I still think he would have still followed an order because he's loyal.
I agree. Yeah, I think he said something about that in Rebels too, where he's like, "Oh, those Jedi cultists" or something like that. Like he quickly changes his perspective on things. Yeah, but it was just really funny because, like, I wonder what happened if a normal human.
Yeah, and vice versa. If he was like realized the craziness of it and tried to give any orders, I think anything else, as we see in this episode, would have been overridden by Order 66, you know.
Oh, we got Trevor in here. Hey, Trevor. Trevor is part of the new podcast coming out, Galaxy United.
Yes. Yeah, I heard about that. That's awesome. Is he that Gasper right there?
Yeah, G. Hasper.
Yeah, sweet.
See what he had to say.
Oh, yeah. March when Ahsoka walks in the room of droids. Last night's episode had the best. Yes.
Oh, yeah, the music was phenomenal. Like, straight from the beginning of the episode, you hear, like, the solemn, quiet, tense music.
If we don't get Kevin Kidner's fully released score on Spotify and Apple Music, we still don't have Rebels season 3 and 4, by the way, which is a crime.
It's a crime.
They literally released the Martes sisters arc on Spotify, so I really, really hope.
I think it's happening.
Come on.
I hope so.
Dun, dun. So we get to the scene where Rex and Ahsoka enter the bridge, and it's crazy because the whole time they're walking through, they're saluting Ahsoka, you know, just driving through that loyalty one last time before everything goes down. Yeah. But then we get a beautiful moment between the two, where Ahsoka is essentially, she says, you know, ever since I trained with the Jedi, I would train to be keepers of the peace, not soldiers. But ever since I've been trained as a Padawan, I've been nothing but a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's just such a sad thing. That alone is a sad thing. But then it's also sad from Rex's perspective because, like, he says, you know, a lot of people prefer the war never happened, but had it not happened, I wouldn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a great quote and exemplifies, like, the theme of the Clone Wars in general. Like, these people grew up in a time that's not really normal for the Jedi or for everybody else living in the galaxy. Like, Ahsoka would have been a completely different character if she didn't grow up as a warrior. And it's kind of funny because the Jedi are teaching these people, like, all these handbooks about how to be a Jedi, which are kind of outdated in the sense of the Clone Wars, because as Ahsoka says, like, we were warriors. We didn't have that time, that kind of peacetime. Like, she grew up at war.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, right from when she was, like, a very little child, that's when Plo Koon picked her up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Plo Koon.
But I love Ahsoka's line back after that of like, or at least some good came of this. I can't remember what specifically she says. I need to read.
So nice. Yeah, at least something
good came from this. I couldn't have asked for better soldiers or a better friend.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It hurts so much. Like, and their friendship has made me, like, that's why this episode hit home so much, because their friendship that we've seen throughout the past 7 seasons of the Clone Wars now, like, nearly every episode had Anakin, Rex, and Ahsoka in it. So we saw all that friendship, all that camaraderie, them, like, grow up together in a sense. So, Oh man, so good.
It was a great moment to just ending off the scene where they just salute each other. It's out of the respect, but also like the love of friendship. It's great. And then
And there's like,
Clone walks in and he says, "There's a new briefing that just came in," and I'm just
Good
like,
news.
"No.
As soon as he announced
No.
as soon as he said briefing, I'm like, no.
But before
and he starts walking away, I'm like, no.
Yeah, so he leaves, and before that takes off, music starts to ramp up, and we're inside Maul's cell, and he starts to get a sense of what's going on across the galaxy. And I had kind of an interpretation that maybe because they had also addressed that Maul was having these like feelings or premonitions of like what's to come.
Dark
maybe,
side stronger than ever.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he might have a continued tie with Sidious. So I feel like maybe when things were going down in the Revenge of the Sith scene, the lightsaber battle, that maybe he not only connected with that, but I feel like he maybe transferred the thought of it to Ahsoka herself.
Whoa.
To pick up with that. And that's when things start going down, and Ahsoka is just hearing everything, and you guys saw my edit I put together tonight.
Pretty great.
I interpreted it as that like kind of what you're saying in the beginning of like, Maul's been having visions or whatever for weeks. Like that the dark side is literally manifesting so strong that like it's because Maul is so strong in it that it's kind of channeling through him first. I didn't think he passed it to Ahsoka. I just think it just became so big. But at first it went to Maul, and then it just became so big that it just like lashed out in the Force kind of. But I like the parallel the kind of the interpretation that it went to Maul first because of just like the dark side crying out, which is kind of cool, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I think like another thing that like why I was primarily thinking that too is like as soon as Maul is brought into the detention cell, he is kind of like already attempting a sense toward Ahsoka, and even she takes notice.
Okay, I didn't really notice that even on my second viewing.
Yeah, like I kind of picked up on it when he kept closing his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like what Carson and Nathan
Dude
was
saying,
breathing
like, heavy in that chamber too. Like, fog on the window.
He was so nervous, like he could tell what's going on. He was really freaking out. But yeah, I feel like the moment of like Maul and Ahsoka sensing what's going on with the Anakin and Mace Windu fight and the Sidious fight, I feel like that's only like specifically towards them, especially if like Maul because he's a dark side user, and then for Ahsoka because she's connected to Anakin. Like I don't feel like Plo Koon or even like Obi-Wan, we saw him, he didn't know what was going on. So like I think it was very much specific to people that were connected to Anakin and weren't like doing something at the time.
Connected to Anakin and Palpatine. Part of me felt like because they were both apprentices to what was going on over there. I felt like I feel like that's why they picked up on it because both of their masters were in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like the last domino. It's like that finally comes together and just kind of echoes out.
And it is heartbreaking just because everything that's happening because Anakin's falling to the dark side in that moment, and it's great that they actually use the sound clips from Hayden, Samuel, and Ian.
I guess
that was great.
Hayden
until the very end, they do a blend mix of Matt Lancer and Hayden Christensen.
Oh wow!
Saying what have I done?
I didn't know that. How do you know? How'd you guys get that? Like you could just.
It was like I kind of picked up while editing today,
but
thanks, I kind of picked up editing because like he does just say what have I done. It was Matt Lancer, obviously you can hear it's a new dialogue, but there's also the bit of the echo effect later. And when I was like piecing it together, I was like, oh, that is like Hayden kind of like lo-fied. So it was like a blend. It was really cool and heartbreaking because that's just as soon as Ahsoka is taken aback by that, she's just like in shock and it's like Anakin.
Yeah.
And
do you guys think do we think Ahsoka sensed exactly what was going on? Because we get the audio of like he's too dangerous to be left alive. Like I don't think Ahsoka heard all that, right?
I feel like she might have heard it. I don't think she necessarily saw what happened. Yeah, but I'm sure she heard the distress of like what was happening in the room and just like hearing that what have I done from Anakin. She's probably in a panic, like something's wrong. That's why she goes to Rex in a minute to say something's up.
I thought she just got the sense of like crap, something's wrong with Anakin. Like I didn't think she got the sense of like, oh, Mace is in the room, Sidious is in the room, and then
Yeah,
Just
I don't
went
think she knows Anakin like chopped off Mace's hand or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, she
I
just
think
knows
she's just like there is something going on that's just wrong in the Force.
He's in
Yep.
pain.
Yeah, and then that
And because of her connection to Anakin, that's what she picked up most on.
yeah,
Okay.
which will now bring us to our
Ooh.
heartbreaking
Oh
scene.
God. Oh God.
Oh no.
Execute orders.
No.
Right, first
Execute tears.
I
The
would
tear,
have.
actually.
I would have been fine if it weren't for the goddamn teardrop.
Before
so
that,
as soon-
we get the what's it called? His hand moving, Rex's hand like twitching.
So I think it's interesting how it plays out because like it's just
Uh-huh.
like a lot the clones have a similar face like that they're clones. So
Really?
yeah. So the way the framing is like you don't even like see Rex's hair or his armor yet. You just see his base face. So you're just like, oh, a clone is getting the order. And it's like XQR66, it's like, yes, my lord. And then when the Ahsoka comes in, you get the pan back. It is Rex. You see like his pupils dilate and stuff, and he's turning, but also he's shaking. And that was so heartbreaking. He drops the helmet.
Oh.
And I don't know if this was him trying to fight back or if it was just like his interior programming. But when he said no, I'll do it, I feel like that's just a little bit more time he might have tried to buy.
Well, yeah, it's a 50-50 because like all the other clones snapped immediately, but like we said in a few like mentioned, like I think last week's episode and the week prior, I think so much of his built up faith with Ahsoka is kind of like he was trying to fight it, so that's why he was trying to give all the information he could before he started before he started blasting. But yeah,
I just started blasting.
And it always gets me that Cody's just like, screw that guy, blast him.
I know, yeah. Cody and Obi-Wan have so much relationships. Like even the beginning of this arc, like Cody and Obi-Wan on the bridge, they're having so much fun. And then days later, Cody's like, "F this guy." It's just like shoots him.
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally didn't save my life 2 days ago.
Yeah, F that guy. Yeah. What's his name again? I don't care. Yeah.
The Jedi.
Yeah. Is that a chicken horse?
Yeah. He was really aiming for the horse. I don't know. But,
so the scene continues forward though, and Rex just pulls out his blaster, just like stay back, and he's like really like twitching, and the tear does fall, and it's so sad.
Oh
it's so heartbreaking.
That's what gets me every time.
Every time.
Yeah. Like he's really trying to fight it, man, and like
that might be like my favorite shot. I don't want to say of the series because that's too hyperbole, but dang, that really got me. Like just that little touch of the tears, like oh.
It's going sideways too. It's like it's almost like he's trying to fight all of his body just to like just hold back everything for the barely moment that we have with
just the remainder of his mind, just like trying to get out to Ahsoka, like look for Five's information that he left.
Yeah,
that's beautiful to tie Fives back into just like the survival of Ahsoka and then subsequently Rex. That's beautiful.
Yeah, totally. Like I was shocked because I was already like screaming at my TV with the whole Order 66 thing. So I'm trying to like see what's happening, and then he mentions Five. So I'm like, oh wow, like so much stuff was happening at once. I'm like, okay,
like Five's arc. Oh my god,
Five's arc. Yeah, wow. Like I literally just watched this a couple months ago too, so it's really fresh in my brain. And Five is such a great character, and I really love that they're inserting his influence on this arc because kind of pretty much saved Rex and Ahsoka's life in a way. Yeah. His sacrifice meant a lot.
And then Anakin's dark deeds like picks up immediately.
Dude. That hit harder than the film, man. That because you've gotten to know these clones personally.
I agree. Yeah.
All throughout, and I think I think somebody had also brought up one of the people in the room, one of the clones in the room was also Jesse from.
Hurts even more.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I didn't know
he'd be back.
Yeah, but he's just following in line.
Wait, was Jesse without his helmet on? I didn't see Jesse.
No, Jesse had his helmet on and armor and everything.
I think he has in armor.
Okay.
But I'd like to mention that this scene is also really badass with the music combined because she's just like deflecting shots left and right.
Oh, I love it. I love that she's deflecting all the blaster bolts up into the ceiling to.
And before she like jumps into that other room, doesn't she like knock Rex back or knock his head back on it?
Yeah.
Oh, he smacked the table, dude. I thought for a second that's what was gonna like mess up his chip or something.
I did too.
But
oh, that'd been funny as heck. Like, oh, he just coughs up the ship. Like, oh, what's going on here?
one little
Ahsoka?
concussive blast in battle, and you're just like not.
Yeah.
real.
Oh, hey, kid.
Yeah, his head's just like bleeding. It's like, I don't know what's happened.
Like for a second, I thought, and I feel like this is probably what they're gonna do in the next episode. I'm sure like they'll have to do a thing where Rex is pretending to still be under.
I think we'll talk about that, but I don't know how that's gonna fly.
Well, I don't know if it's not gonna like last, but
we'll have to get into that when we get to it. But
yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work. I think Filoni's gonna be like, yeah, this ain't working this time.
There's no way.
Yeah, but the whole shot of her just like deflecting, it was so good. Like no dialogue, just deflecting all that. The smoke slowly rising. Oh, so good.
And then she gets out, and then by prevailing theory was proven that Rex just go ahead and gives the order to go and execute Maul. There's no differentiation of Jedi.
He was in the script. He was in the code. He was in the code. Which also brings me to the point. Brings us to the point of we finally got a full-fledged thing of what Order 66 is. They know that the Jedi have turned against the Republic. Any and all Jedi are to be killed.
Anybody who aids the Jedi
will also be killed for treason, which is amazing.
Which is so broad too. It's like, what is aided? Like, are the Mandalorians aiding the Jedi? Like on Mandalore?
They're talking about. They're talking about troops
from this point forward.
They're talking about like their Republic troops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people on Mandalore right now, when they get the Order 66 thing, and they're just chilling with Mandalorians and Bo-Katan right now, or they're like, well, you aided her a couple hours ago, so we got to kill you now. So.
I find it funny that Palpatine took the times I wonder will there chips some chips malfunction if they don't decide to fire, we need to kill them or something.
My ex apprentice.
Yeah, there's a deleted scene of Sidious on the computer okay, part of the
HTML.
But how disheartening is it to just hear Rex in full effect of order? Just like he's not himself anymore. It's horrible.
It's horrible, but at the point, like you were saying earlier, Nathan, I can't tell if part of him was so really into it, or if he's kind of faking it a little bit. I think at that point he's really much into it, but there's certain moments where I'm just
I think he's into it, and certain points later feed into that, which I guess I'll get into in a bit. But flowing to the next scene, we get Ahsoka or clones that were ordered to execute Maul go into his cell, and they open it
and open the thing.
They open his little. They open the locker he's in.
I like that it did show Maul is completely strapped down in there, he has no defense whatsoever. Ahsoka wasn't there, Maul would have died.
Which is crazy to me. He's in a cell within a cell at this point. He has no chance.
I thought something was going to be in the chamber to kill him. I thought those buttons were going to activate something.
I thought Ahsoka was already going to be in there behind it.
Oh, that'd been funny. Just turned around hey.
So that thing, okay, so when she does free him of the thing, there's smoke coming out of the cuffs. There's smoke coming out of his face that releases him. Do you think he's breathing in certain gas that nullifies his midichlorians?
Wow.
No.
Because
moving on.
No.
I mean, because he's getting easily broken out of that thing had he used the Force.
I don't know. I mean, if your hands are handcuffed, I think you're screwed.
See, I was thinking about that too, but I think
Obi-Wan and
I think Maul as a character also is kind of at a point where he's just well, he's kind of I'm just gonna see this through for now because I'm just gonna see this through. He sent everybody into hiding. Whitwer's line delivery at the end of the last episode. Let me die. We're all gonna burn anyways. He's just kind of.
I don't think he's given up though. We see a couple of seconds later, he's full on. This is the darkest part of the.
Well, he even says, "Want to give me a fighting chance?"
I love that line. But I don't know because I feel we've seen in Star Wars Force users use the Force without their hands, like it's never really defined.
Yeah.
Like you have to use your hands and point at something to use the Force. Like you can just tilt your head and just change something. I don't know.
It was funny. I actually watched the episode with my dad earlier, like because I'm like, Dad, come on, Order 66. He's like, all right. So he sits down. He's like,
All right.
wait. He's like, wait, Maul is back.
That's funny.
My dad was like, literally, Maul is back, and then also he was like, well, he was like, because he took me to see the Clone Wars movie back in 2008, and he knows who Ahsoka is and everything. He's like, wait, Ahsoka's gonna die this episode or something. She's got to because like all the Jedi died. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
It's
a long story.
I had to explain to him how Maul is back, and more Jedi survived than just Obi-Wan and Yoda.
Yeah, there's like a huge like a plot hole. It's like, oh yeah, Ezra and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka and Cal.
And Cal Kestis.
Cal.
Let's go.
But yeah, I love the shot of Ahsoka helping out Maul. I was screaming because I'm like, this is what I love to see in Star Wars and fiction. Whenever a hero works with a villain, that's all I need. Give me the Ahsoka and Maul TV show for all I care. Like, I love them together. They're a great.
Let's be clear. I'm not here to team up with you. Like, so good.
Which is hilarious because we were anticipating like, okay, they're gonna have to team up to escape, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
I think we still might get that. But
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I thought it was just gonna be this episode though, so I was like, hold up.
Yeah, I was so excited.
Maul just getting an escape pod and just be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
But
die well, Mandalorian.
Die well is so good, right?
He really said screw them. But I totally expected like at that moment when she freed him, I was like, okay, so is she gonna give him a lightsaber? Because he's kind of screwed without a lightsaber. And the second after I said that, he says like, "You're gonna give me a fighting chance here or something." She's like, no, you're good. You're good.
I don't know why I believe that Ahsoka might have handed him a saber.
That'd have been so funny, him using a blue lightsaber, the short blue lightsaber too.
Yeah, I thought he would get the short one, just like,
yeah, you get the short one, dude.
His saber's got to be on that ship somewhere, right?
No,
I don't think the Mandalorians
Can he get new ones?
I think. Oh, you know what, Brandon? I never even thought about that. He has a dark saber in Rebels. So where did he go?
We going back to Mandalore?
Maul's like, can you guys pull up back to Mandalore real quick so I can grab the darksaber and come back?
Siege of Mandalore arc, only half the arc's on.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't know how he gets the Maul saber back. Maybe he kept it somewhere as a secret hideout or something. Maybe he didn't even bring it to Mandalore. So, but yeah.
But yeah, so we press on forward, and that's when Ahsoka starts to run in with the droids. Which is great. One of them voiced by Dave Filoni, apparently. So
yes, because I think Dave Filoni voiced Chopper.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same voice as Chopper was in this episode.
What?
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
The same guy.
And also...
Yeah, that dude with the cowboy hat. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The one arc I decided to skip in my Clone Wars rewatch has so much importance to this one.
And
because it's the same droids.
Oh, really?
It's the same droids as that R2 goes with.
I skipped that arc too in my rewatch.
And you know what? That is why I tweeted in my reaction. I said, this is a very Lucas-esque episode because if George Lucas had done this episode, he would have done the exact same thing. George Lucas loves these little these little parts of the galaxy coming to like help out, and the quite literally the most crazy chaotic event in the galaxy. Oh, yeah. And it was so perfect how they like I love how we got to talk about the whole Fives thing of like they pull up the files and we get it's the clip of Rex, right?
Oh yeah, this before the droids thing? Yeah, you're right.
No, it's like right when she gets in there and they're like all like happy to see her.
Yeah. And they already knew what was happening because she was like, "Oh no, I don't know what the clones are doing."
Yeah, I don't know what's happening either. But then,
which is crazy because all the droids knew what was happening. I was like, "Oh."
He put Order 66 in their code too.
Like, huh? But yeah, then she starts doing her investigation, which gets fascinating. She ends up using Easter egg passcode. It turned out.
Yeah,
8108. And I actually kind of picked up on that because I went opening night because my birthday is on the 14th of August, and so I had this whole thing that night when Clone Wars came out. I went to go see it, and I remember we went to the store and I got a clone blaster. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Not Stinky the Hut in a ghost. Stinky
and then
the
I
Hut
also
action.
I got a blaster and I got a clone trooper helmet of like this the sound effects one.
Of course,
I got that and the blaster, and so I'm like, okay, 8108. I'm like, it didn't come out August 1st, 08, and then I searched it up, and then it was August 10th, 08, so it's August 108. So
perfect.
It was great.
That's amazing.
That's
I didn't
pretty
realize that.
That's a really sneaky but like awesome. It's like in the same way FN2187 is the cell block for Leia.
Yeah,
type
same kind of
deal.
thing.
Great
The
stuff.
whole 1138.
Oh yeah. So she starts getting the lowdown on like the inhibitor chip, which is great. And then I think that's when we end up cutting over to Maul, what Maul's up to, and
Chopping heads off.
oh yeah,
Crazy.
it's Rogue One Part 2, man.
It really is. Yeah, it's better than Rogue One. Crap.
Well, yeah, you didn't even need a saber, man.
Yeah,
He's
this one at
ripping
least had more
Panels of
meaning.
the ship. How
Panel.
cool
He
is
does-
that?
He is like matching some of the movements, so like up against the ceiling, stuff like that. I was like, this is so Rogue One. But then
Didn't he shoot a blaster back at
Decapitating.
someone?
he might have, but
I
like
think he took it. I don't think he pointed it back at him.
it definitely becomes its own thing though. As soon as he like straight up decapitates clones.
That was dark. Like my brother and I looked at each other like, did they just decapitate somebody on the show?
Then
I mean,
the arm thing. I'm like,
Oh my god! He
yeah.
took the comm link. Like as soon as the
I
arm
feel like
came off, I'm
Filoni's
like,
got a thing with like lately, like after Mando, like slicing people. Like because earlier in the arc of the sisters, like one of the aliens, yeah, one of the Pikes got crushed in a elevator. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
super dark. Yeah, I mean that whole scene was just incredible. Like showing, and this is like half strength Maul. Like Maul has like his legs cut off. Like if this was like Phantom Menace, Maul would have been a wrap too. So yeah, Maul is such a great character. Like he didn't even need a lightsaber. He just tore up the ship and just used it to his advantage.
yeah,
and
and
like
then
I was saying earlier, and it's a good like metaphor for literally ripping the Republic ship from the inside out. Like it's just so perfect.
Wow. Yeah,
Of just like literally taking the panels and throwing them.
oh, he
it's
like straight up
horrible.
crushed troops against each other right in the center.
Yes,
yeah.
literally sandwiched them. And then at the end,
dude,
he gets the arm and the comm link is on the arm still, and he gets like the information.
Boom! Thanks for the clue, man. Nowhere to go.
hey, what if he takes that arm and starts swinging it around?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
God.
so dark.
Hey,
Like-
Buzz, look.
Hey, boss.
Yeah, like Toy Story. Hey, Buzz.
But I wish they cut to the clone trooper got his arm cut off, and he's just like, "Oh my god!" That'd have been amazing.
Oh, you imagine.
His
I mean-
friends are just like, "Dude, I have no idea what just happened."
I mean, that clone
Yeah.
loyalty is still there, where that one clone is like trying to pull him back. It's like, no.
Yeah, that was
And that's not a cauterized wound like a lightsaber wound. That's
No, that is-
that's a messy move.
That's horrible.
like episode 1 of the Mandalorian, just chop.
Oh yeah. Watch how that guy turned out, dude. God,
Oof.
the mess. The mess. Like,
He got some metal legs that he got a square deal on him.
okay.
Yeah,
they're half off.
So, progressing forward, we got the clones are tracking through the hallways, trying to look for Ahsoka, and that's when the droids start to help box in Rex so that they can get a talking to him to try to fix him out of all this. And it starts off in a hologram, so I was like, oh, that'd be smart. Maybe like Ahsoka can bounce from hologram to hologram from different droids, kind of like mind messing thing. But then she actually is physically there, and then Ahsoka's surprised when the droid electrocutes him unconscious, because I'm just like, what would have been her plan?
Oh, speaking of hologram, we totally forgot to talk about that scene of Rex talking about fives in that data entry.
yeah, we kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
mentioned it.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it.
He is,
But yeah, I like that he used like Anakin's secret passcode, and they kind of like hid it too. They were hiding it from everybody else. Like if you just were trying to look for it, it would have been blocked, presumably from the
Yeah, it was
Senate.
sealed.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like it's kind of depressing because he knew it would fall on deaf ears, but he still needed to basically vent about it. Should someone be able to look
Yeah.
for it?
Yeah,
It's depressing.
yeah. When that happened, I'm like, dang, is Palpatine really letting that loose end just sit there in the datascape? Just like, okay, cool, I'll just let this guy grieve. But
You didn't know the password.
He's like, dang it, Anakin, what's the passcode?
Oh, it's not working.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the password of my luggage.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. So we get to the point where we're in the med bay now. We're in the med bay with Rex,
Yes.
and it's operation time. We gotta scan. We gotta scan for this chip, but there's no sign of the chip. So it's like, shit. What do we do?
Which makes complete sense because, like, you presume most clone troopers when they're in war, they go to the medical bays and they get scanned because they've just been in war, and usually, like, it makes sense that they can't see like where the chip is.
Oh yeah,
it would have been discovered years ago by some random medical guy. Like, hey guys, I'm doing a scan on this random clone trooper, and
there's like an aneurysm
like
there.
a piece of metal in his head.
Before the investigation arc with the whole chip, was the chip known about?
No,
before
that was never it was never mentioned up until the Fives arc.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, and like we see in this episode, it's impossible to find technically without like really, I guess, using the Force or something. Or I forget how Fives found it. Yeah, Fives just like did a deep scan. I mean, he was at Camino, so he had the luxury of the Camino systems.
But it great moment when Ahsoka's connecting to Rex's mind, and she says, "I'm one with the Force, Force with me."
She channeled her inner. Channeled her
and I was
inner
like, "Have you met
Chirrut?
Chirrut? Please tell me you have." Just around the temple guarding, like that'd be cool.
And then they cut to Chirrut, and he's like, no, "I'm kidding.
Are you kidding me? I'm blind."
What did you guys think of, like, we didn't talk about how, do you think the chip, because the machine picks up the chip after the fact, so do you think that Ahsoka's presence kind of alerted it or kind of set it off, but not really in a malice way through like kind of their bond? Or do you think it like kind of was just activated through Ahsoka somehow? I don't know. I think there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Maybe she has like, I feel like she might have a familiarity with just cloaking tech in regards to like flying ships or something, that maybe like she gets like a read on a part of it that maybe she can deactivate to get it to register.
Yeah, well, part of me thinks
not
like,
deactivate the whole chip, but just like that one function of it.
It was kind of like a mix, like like it was. My guess is it was like kind of pinging on the scan, but nothing at all for it to show up. But her connecting to it made it ping.
I think it's more that she connected to Rex, and Rex helped because it's his brain. So Rex was like kind of like revealed it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
it could have been like a reverse of like, if the chip affects Rex's mind, maybe that unlocked it like in a reverse, kind of like between Rey and Ben when he's like in his mind, then she jumps to his.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. It was like it wasn't really out of the purpose of the chip, more of like just them kind of going back and forth, which I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I like that.
And then we get to a really pulse pounding moment when the clones come to the door.
Oh my gosh.
And that gets really intense because like Ahsoka's handling herself, but then at a point one of the sabers gets shot out of her hand.
Yeah, she gets almost raised.
She full on gets shot.
Yeah,
it starts getting to the point where it's like the editing is beautiful how it's handled, because she's like really struggling to keep up with every blaster ball, and just like how I know every Jedi has died in Order 66, and they can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah, and like going along with that, you see Rex's hand twitch right behind her. So at the same time, you're like, is he waking up from it? What's going on? Because like usually you would trust Rex, but this time you're just kind of like, I don't really know at this point. He could just shoot Ahsoka in the back.
It gets really overwhelming too, because at a point, like she like forces the clones that are in the doorway back, but then they come right from behind the corner.
She doesn't want to kill him. She wants to just keep pushing him back. She's just trying to buy time because
and then more keep coming again and again, and it gets scary. And to the point she's struggling, and the droid can't get the door shut because they bypassed it, and that's when Rex does get up and he shoots. And it's heartbreaking because he has to shoot his own brothers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But he has to do it to save his friend. And it's so heartbreaking on so many levels, just the more you think about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's the last time he's going to be shooting more of his brothers.
Yeah, and that's what gets me to the point of there is no way he's going to be able to disguise himself still as an Order 66 member because there were so many witnesses there that witnessed him shooting.
That's true.
Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like it's behind Ahsoka, but like, there's so much going on. But my guess is they picked up and like, holy shit, did our commander just fire on us?
And as the directive said, anybody who even helps the Jedi are also
immediately
in danger. So I guess Rex just put himself in that quota. So
it's scary, dude.
Yikes. How did the episode end? Was it just them looking at each other?
There's a couple things. First, the final words, which is horrible because there's like, Rex, are you okay? Like, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, kid, I'm okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry about earlier. I almost killed you. And it's just like, but you know, it's great that he's back. But then he just has the horrifying realization when Ahsoka asks what's going on. He's just like, it's everyone. It's all of us. The entire Grand Army of the Republic has been ordered to destroy the Jedi Knights. And that's horrifying to think galaxy-wide. And then the episode, and this is where my first theory for the next episode is going to come in. The slicing on the door starts to happen, and that's where it cuts. I think
it's
Maul's going to be the one doing that.
Huh?
That's my guess.
What do you mean?
Around the ship, after he picked up on the comm from the severed arm of like what their routes were going to be. I feel like, and you know, since he doesn't have any like real defenses, even though he tore up that hallway, but there's an entire Venator ship to go through.
Yeah. What if you see Maul and he's like covered in like the strip, like shrapnel, kind of like for defense?
Not bad.
Oh my god.
He's like walking around like Iron Man.
He bent it with the Force.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a great theory because when he picked up the intercom from that trooper's arm, I was wondering like, what is he kind of listening for? Because I remember I put in my notes earlier in the episode, Rex mentioned to the troopers like, okay, destroy every single escape pod and lock down the hangar bay.
Oh, they said that?
Yeah, I wrote it down. I'm like, so the hangar bay is kind of like on lockdown, and the escape pods are presumably getting destroyed or in the process of getting destroyed. So I'm like, how are they going to escape if they can't use escape pods?
Yeah.
Like,
and now that I think about it, I think more and more Nathan is right because I think the old Maul, or the same way we're putting the old way of Maul's thinking, he would have gone to try to go for the bridge in his cockiness, but Maul is thinking in a different way and doing things differently. And so I think your theory of like going back to it's weird that like he keeps going back to Ahsoka or like they keep crossing paths, but it works so well in so many ways. Oh, yeah. And it's tragic all the same. But I think we're going to see more of them next episode, which is going to be an interesting dynamic of Maul, Ahsoka, and then, you know, Rex going through the ship with different eyes.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Do you guys think that we will get a scene of having to have Ahsoka and Rex like back to back, just fighting off hordes of clones?
I can visualize that shot, and that would be so awesome to see.
I feel like if they do a shot like that, then I think they're gonna start to get overwhelmed. But then Maul is gonna have to come in with a bit more action.
Yeah, like back to back, and then Maul comes in and saves the day.
Because I really think it's going to be dependent on like they're not getting out unless all of them work together.
Where's the ship going to end up, guys?
That's
like,
what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Where
they're
were
going
they
back to? They're going to Coruscant right now.
Oh shoot!
That's the worst place.
Oh shoot!
Yeah. What if they get Obi-Wan's message like, "Do not go to Coruscant," and they're already en route? They're like, "Well, thanks."
That's another thing I was thinking because I was thinking about how that scene in Rebels where Ahsoka is watching Anakin holocron. Is that her holocron?
Yeah. Yes, she gave it to. I think she gave it to Ezra.
Yeah, so I would imagine when Obi-Wan recalibrates the message for everybody to stay away from Coruscant, it's going to go to hers. That I don't know if she has it on her, but
that's a great point. But I do think we'll see that message in the next episode. Like, hey guys, don't go to the Jedi Temple.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We're gonna have the surviving.
It's so interesting because we still have to.
Because they're in a big Republic ship. Like, how you drop out of hyperspace and be like, all right, we're gonna just stay low on this planet. Like, it doesn't work like that. And there's
there's no way they can go back to Coruscant.
You got to steal a ship. I mean, you
Yeah.
just got to get
I
away from
assume like the best route instead of the escape pods. is
Unless
to
we can go
Hangar.
back to Coruscant.
Unless we go visit the Martez sisters again.
Nah.
What if we have to go back to Coruscant, guys?
I'm down for that. Just sneak through 1313.
Brandon, you could be close there by using her. I forget what
The bike?
the ship that they use. I forget the name of the ship.
Silver Angel.
Oh, nice.
Only you would remember the name.
Only you would remember that. Yeah, Silver Angel. They could use that to escape, and then not Maul. The Maul probably go somewhere else, but at that point,
You think she'll
Okay.
just give them the ship to keep?
Hey, Josh.
hey, Josh, what's up, man?
What up?
But I think,
yeah.
yeah, I think she'd give it to him. I think that. But I feel like, this would be an interesting perspective because if they get down there somehow, they're not going to really know what's going on because of how tiered off Coruscant is.
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's on lockdown, basically.
In terms of Maul, I feel like he's got enough crime syndicate connections to obtain.
Good point,
rides
Josh.
for himself.
So
Yeah,
left their
excellent
bike
point,
there
Josh.
for a reason. Ooh.
Very true. Very true.
So are we doubling down on the Martez sisters making one last appearance?
I hope so.
I like that.
I really like him a lot.
Oh, what if they're dead? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Why?
Jesus Christ. You got killed in a gang raid or something. Yeah.
That'd be
Carson was
horrible.
laughing at you.
There.
I mean, like we just said, for the directive, anybody that even helps the Jedi or gets seen helping the Jedi get in trouble.
Oh, geez.
We got to be sneaky. Sneaky.
They give Ahsoka the Silver Angel, and then a shot later, the clone troopers come in.
Rafa,
and just,
Oh, no.
no.
Why?
That'd be dark.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, my mind's just going
It
to
could
dark
happen,
places.
though.
Oh.
Yeah, but so going back though, like I think Maul and Ahsoka are gonna have like one last scene together on that ship,
Definitely.
which is gonna be so
They're
much
gonna
fun to see. Yeah. So I'm really buying into Maul helping out Ahsoka.
See, like we already know Maul escapes because of what happens. Like we
Mhm.
already know they all three escape, but I want to know how Maul escapes and still continues power with the I can't think of the name right now.
Crimson Dawn.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure he's still running.
Yeah, he's still running.
That is Crimson Dawn. The Mandos aren't Crimson Dawn.
Well, I know, but I want to know how he's able to get back into contact with everyone. You know,
Well, they're hiding. He sent them into hiding last.
Yeah, so I think
I'm sure there's a lot of comm links around you can recalibrate on that ship.
I think once he escapes the ship, which he eventually will, I think he'll be like, "Yo, homeboys, pick me up! Like Dryden Voss, pick me up! I need a ride or something." And they bring him back to there.
Ooh, Nathan, pull out the latest comment. Up.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
What is that? Oh,
Theory Ahsoka cut herself off from the Force at the end, which is why she never senses Vader until Rebels.
Ouch.
Sad.
that is possible. Carson, as a fellow Ahsoka novel reader, is that mentioned? Because doesn't that take place after? I think she does kind of cut herself off. She's doing like odd jobs.
Yes, but like I'm pretty sure it's like she gets frustrated with it because like it's kind of impossible, quote unquote. And I think like she's still like even everyday life kind of like it's hard not to even tap into it without even subconsciously. So I don't know how it's going to work moving forward. And of course they can change things a little bit based on that perspective. Like there's some leeway. So I don't know. It would be interesting though that like that's the out of like how Ahsoka kind of like navigates like getting away from this situation.
And going back to Josh's question though, like besides the option of cutting herself off from the Force, I can still kind of make sense of why she never sensed Vader, because at that point, physically at least, Anakin is dead. I mean, not physically, like emotionally, Anakin is dead. We all know Anakin's still Vader, but at that point, when she's searching for Anakin in the Force, she can't find him because Anakin is now Vader psychologically. So maybe that's why she can't really sense him until she sees him up close.
Do you think she'll sense Padme's death?
Who?
Do you think she'll sense Padme's death? Okay, hear me out on this though, because there was an episode. There were a few episodes where she senses that Padme is in danger.
Yeah, you're right. Like when she had to be a bodyguard to her, and she sensed her in danger. Yeah, she had like Force vision of Padme.
I wouldn't be surprised if they'll do like what they did with the Force Echo of the whole Emperor and Mace confrontation in this one. If they do that where Ahsoka picks up on something going on with Padme and also Anakin again on Mustafar, probably that with their confrontation.
Great point, Nathan. Because also going back to Rebels, in season 2, you kind of get the point that she thought Anakin was dead. Not that she couldn't ever find Anakin. You get the point.
Right. So what led her to that conclusion?
Exactly.
Could be that.
And she might even also pick up Obi-Wan's presence there as well and know that they're confronting each other.
Oh, wow.
And just probably have to assume the worst.
Cross her fingers. It's like, Obi-Wan's with Anakin. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, yeah, because at the end of it, she knows that Obi-Wan's alive.
Oh, what up, Sean?
Sean!
Hey, what's up?
Here.
Yeah. See, what were you saying, Brendan?
Well, she knows that Obi-Wan is alive, so I think she has to assume that Anakin's dead.
That's one way of putting it.
I feel like they have to know that they're
A plus B equals C.
I feel like the only way you can get there is if Ahsoka knows that they're fighting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they
Yes.
do, she senses their confrontation.
I don't think
knows-
she will. Yeah. I think she would just sense, like Nathan said, Anakin falling or dying probably, but not
No, I hate
for
you.
fighting. Yeah.
I mean, hell, if she picked up on that moment where Anakin's left for dead on the riverbank and Obi-Wan's just sad
A
man.
riverbank. I wish it was a river.
Well, a lava bank.
Kind of.
Anakin's new home.
He just he started like water just splashing on him. Oh, this feels nice. It gets rid of the saber singe.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Revenge
No,
just would have been
honestly,
totally
I
different.
feel like that could be a really powerful moment if just Ahsoka picks up on that exact moment where not only Obi-Wan is sad that Anakin falls, but also Ahsoka is too. At the thought, like, yeah, at this moment, Anakin's probably dead.
And what if she just like can't take it and tries to like cut it off? You know, that could be pushing her towards that angle of like I can't take it anymore. You know.
Yeah, it could just get like so overbearing and just like
Right.
loud and horrible that she just cuts it away.
That's
I like
true.
that idea.
Guy, you could do some great sound editing in that idea. I'd
Yeah.
love to see what they pull off.
And Ahsoka and Rex, they still have to bury like her lightsabers and
Mhm.
put their what?
What?
What about burying lightsabers?
Because like where are her lightsabers in Rebels? Like, what does she do with those lightsabers?
Maybe she loses them.
Maybe she loses them. I mean, which I thought she would have lost them in the fight with Maul, but then she eventually got them back.
Yeah, well, Bo-Katan just gives them right back to her.
Yeah, she eventually like found him. Like, hey, you kind of dropped something there. But
Yeah, I was like, okay.
yeah, I guess it's cool.
I think you'll be needing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you'll be needing it.
That's always something that got me was like he gives Obi-Wan his saber back and like literally 2 seconds later he calls Order 66 he's like you could Josh, don't spoil the Ahsoka book. We don't know what happens.
Oh yeah, the Ahsoka book, she buried them.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I thought she just bleed the crystals in it. I don't know.
But like, I mean,
Did you guys say in last episode that it was kind of diverging from the Ahsoka?
I was about to say that. Yeah, this arc has been completely different from the Ahsoka book in a lot of ways.
Filoni
you never know.
said there's a huge like Filoni said there's a huge like canon changing moment.
Yeah, I mean, which that could be it. Because like we're all saying, like they're stuck on a ship full of clone troopers. Where are they going to go from here? So you never know what might happen.
If any little detail that's kind of big is overridden, I think it could be that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, anything can change. Like,
How do you?
Yeah, what were you saying?
Well, I don't know, it kind of gets to like the end of.
Like, do you guys think we're going to see Vader in this finale? Speaking of all this Vader stuff,
people are wanting
That's
it.
my prevailing theory for so many shows. I think if we do, it will just be in showing the current state of the galaxy and just the new empire that has taken over. And just like at the forefront is Emperor Palpatine and his right hand, Darth Vader.
Man. But I feel like it has to end on Ahsoka and Rex too.
For sure. And that's what I was actually going to ask. Do you guys think at the end of this, by the end of the episode and overall the series, do you think Ahsoka and Rex are going to stick around with each other for a bit, or do you think
We're going to Tatooine. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Carson. Get out. You're off.
Ahsoka visits Obi-Wan briefly, just like,
Who
what
are
doing
you?
Here? I'm watching this boy.
Ahsoka.
Rex visits
Ahsoka
Obi.
Palpatine.
Let's
go.
Rex visits Obi-Wan. Ahsoka goes to Dagobah.
Oh no, the beautiful and peaceful place of Tatooine.
There hasn't been anybody in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Rex teams up with Mon Mothma, joins the rebellion.
There's been no one for a week. Who are you?
Nathan,
At what point do you think?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like Rex is on his like little 3-man clone fisherman walker, right?
Yeah, they are.
It's a whole lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out the runtime of this episode because there's a lot you're gonna have. There's a lot they're gonna have to present to us and get through.
Really? I mean, they just gotta leave a ship.
They gotta
How long do you guys think the episode's going to be? The
30
final?
minutes, 29.
The same.
28 minutes.
I hope it's longer than
20.
40.
Price is right.
I feel like max 40, but
40 minutes.
No way.
max if they were to extend it.
Okay, Max. Yeah,
Sean. Who?
I have no idea who that is. Is that a joke?
Meeber Gaskin.
Gar Saxon.
Leroy
Sounds
Jenkins.
42. What? Wow,
Yes.
double ups. Oh, 14
Yes.
minutes. That's right.
I hope so.
Double episode.
I think we would have gotten that announced if it was.
Well, no, not a back to
Part 4, Part 1.
Like
Episode 4, Part 1.
But if they were to combine Part 1 and 2 into one whole episode, give us like a 45.
But like they've already split up like Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. You know what I mean? That's what leads me to believe. If anything, it would just be it longer.
Yeah, I would love that. But yeah, if anything, it'll be like Nathan said, 40 minutes, which would be crazy. Because like, what? There's no significant battle. They just gotta escape a ship and then try and find some way to leave Ahsoka and Rex on a happy note.
They're gonna have to, but there's so much to wrap up. Yes and no. There's a good bit of stuff to wrap up though.
For Ahsoka and Rex, though, like what do they need to wrap up? Like we know Revenge of the Sith is just, I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sean. Oh, okay.
I skipped that droid arc. I skipped
that guy.
droid arc.
I totally know who that guy is.
Yeah,
Shame on everybody.
You know what? That guy is probably part of the Order 66 directive, and he got killed. Yeah,
He's ridden the
was like-
Palpatine's good. He's like
"Where are my
Maul
droids?"
and little green guy on
He's
planet
like-
whatever.
He's like, "Where are my droids?" Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. No.
nah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know because it's just we started this show with Ahsoka and Rex and Anakin, and then we're gonna leave this show with Ahsoka and Rex. I mean, we got to see Gregor and Wolf. Yeah, maybe. Do we see those characters? That'd be fun.
what if they go on a mission to try and track down some clones that they relatively know well, like Cody, Gregor, Wolf?
Can Cody
I think you lose the tension if you do that because then
I
it like
agree.
acts like it's a new thing. Like
Yeah,
Is
they
Cody
just have
totally
to
lost?
escape. Like it would be funny if Gregor and Wolf were on this ship, and they're the ones who run into Ahsoka, and they're like, "Hey guys, we also have our chips removed." I don't know.
like escaping is a lot. Like I feel like we're kind of underestimating how much it is because we were
I
just
guess.
saying like 15 minutes ago of like, okay, yeah, escaping. They're in a giant ship with no escape pods, presumably.
Mhm.
They're already a red flag. They have 2 Force users on board. Like it's like red flag on red flag on red flag in terms of the Empire, Palpatine, and the clones on their back. So I don't
How
know.
do they escape? It's like literally thousands of clones in that ship.
Yeah, there's no taking over the ship, the entire ship. That's
No.
There's no way.
So
And they're on their way to Coruscant.
Right. They're in hyperspace.
I think the main goal for the next episode is to go onto the bridge, get out of hyperspace, and then that's when they can try and escape. But getting to the bridge is suicide.
Oh, shit.
if they do get to the bridge, do you think they'll recalculate course?
No.
No?
I think they'll just get out of hyperspace, then go to the hangar, and then escape.
Oh, okay.
Just giant ship. You're just gonna pull up to a random planet and be like, "All right, I'm here."
sure. Yoda did it. I don't know.
Do you guys think? Okay, remember in like season 1, 2, I think. Remember that clone deserter that Rex runs into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go
Do
to
you
his
think-
house again.
Do you think he gets any kind of mention? Not
No.
like show mention, but do you think he gets any kind of like
I think the
hint
same
of Order
type of mention.
66?
I think the same type of mention as like probably Rex would be like, I'd be the life to go. Not like physically that guy, but just like the lifestyle that he lives.
No, I'm
Mhm.
saying like
It'd be an
this.
indirect line in the last conversation between, it could be like, oh, what now conversation when they're finally safe. And I feel like
Yeah.
you kind of mentioned there's still something left for me or whatever.
Oh,
he's saying.
I'm talking about that deserted. Do you think he gets any hint or like knowledge of Order 66 happening? Or
He probably got a big headache, but I wonder, like, do you not get the will to fight, like, if you don't see the message from Palpatine? Like,
I mean, if you don't get the order,
how would you
how would you?
know?
I mean, but like, would he get any like? Let's just say like he's like listening to the morning news or something.
Just eating
Oh my
dinner with his
God.
family.
It's horrible. We should stop this.
As of late, Order 66 has been issued. I gotta go.
We forgot about the Bad Batch, guys.
Oh
Will
yeah,
they be back?
I doubt it.
Echo will be back.
But
Pull up
going
the
towards
question, though. It's an
yeah,
interesting
pull up the
question.
question. I think the Bad Batch do have function, or they don't. I'm gonna say they don't because it's already so weird. Something already got messed up in the process. So I don't think they have
What do you
say
think?
that-
I mean, they could meet up with them. Maybe I don't know.
What do you
say
think
that
is going
now.
to happen with them in regards to the order?
Watch them have their chips installed, but they're like they're still like, no, we're doing our own thing, man.
Yeah, I think they just go off to some random planet and do their own thing.
I spent so much time on these past few episodes theorizing about Bad Batch chips, and we're not going to get anything.
We don't know. It's honestly weird. I feel like the last 3 episodes of like speculating, we kind of have an idea of where things, just because like we have such a established timeline of events now. But now it's kind of like not necessarily uncharted territory, but we just don't know how they're going to get from A to B. So it's kind of refreshing, honestly, to not know. Like, as scary as that sounds, I'm really excited for this finale, purely because I don't really have a sense of like, or a good theory on how they're going to escape.
It's kind of nerve-wracking just to think that, like, yeah, we got stuff to wrap up, but also at the same time, this is the last episode ever for Clone Wars.
But do you guys think the show is going to end on Ahsoka's theme or the Binary Sunset or Force theme?
Binary Sunset, Force, may the Force be with you.
Because they've been using Ahsoka's theme in every single episode of this arc. So, and I like it kind of better.
Yeah,
not
Josh,
better, but
yeah.
it fits better.
Yeah, Josh,
I
we're
feel
actually
like at this point they could go their own route with it. But at the same time, I will not be shocked at all if Binary Sunset is.
Or their own unique score. At the end of season 2 of Rebels, at the Twilight of the Apprentice, they had this fantastic score. I forget what it was called.
Why can't we get an Ahsoka and Rex's team? Like, why not? Give
A
me
little
to me.
mix. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm down.
There was a question though from Josh.
we were just talking about that right before.
Yeah, I'm still wondering where the Darksaber is and why we haven't seen it in this arc. Yeah, we were talking about that because, like, what was I saying earlier? Yeah, like, where is it now? Like, is it still on Mandalore? I think he didn't even bring it when he went back to Mandalore. I think it's still at his hideout on, where was it? Dathomir, I think, in Rebels. I think he's still on Dathomir.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then ever since he left Dathomir in the Stone of Dathomir comic book, I think
Well, I couldn't find it in Fallen Order. So.
Yeah, and Olvinsky says I think they might save that backstory for Mando season 2. And I think it's highly possible, or at least mentions of it, of like how it's been passed around, maybe, or in the history of it. But of course, we get a lot of that in Rebels. But
we get in Rebels, yeah. Ezra finds it, Sabine gets it, and then Bo-Katan gets it, and then Bo-Katan loses it to Los Hermanos. Tragic.
In the hands of a fried chicken corporate.
He's just standing
I'm
over.
still so
Bo-Katan
curious that
for
he's
life.
broken 4 sabers on this side or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
I can't.
Who's he beating up? Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, speaking of like extra speculation, there was a whole tweet like 2 weeks ago or a week ago where somebody was like, from the animation department was like, oh, we could get more. People thought like from that tweet that they were going to get more Clone Wars episodes.
No
Do you guys remember that tweet? It's like some guy from
Oh,
the
yeah.
animation, like, if you guys continue watching, we'll have more in store. And somebody was like, oh wait, more Clone Wars?
Yeah, it's called the Rebel sequel.
Yeah.
That's
I
what he's
agree.
talking about.
The thing that Noah straight up leaked.
Which
No,
still
no,
hasn't
no,
been
it's different.
announced.
Which, yeah, still hasn't been announced, but
Yeah, I think it has to happen.
I think they were saving that for the celebration
Pushed.
announcement, but
that would be an awesome announcement to get on May 4th.
Yeah, man.
Like a Rebel
I mean,
sequel
drop
announcement.
something.
Drop something, yeah.
Could
I
you
mean,
imagine-
aside from the finale and also Disney Plus Tross, but
I bet Dave will drop a Ahsoka drawing that will hint at stuff.
Could you imagine if they dropped like a trailer for it, like they did with the Rise of Skywalker clip after that one Mandalorian episode, where you can like hit play on it? Do you think we'll get that with like a trailer? Like, click here to see something special or something.
No.
That would be wild. I doubt it though. But yeah, that would be wild.
what?
Yeah,
What
Sean.
did Sam Whitworth say on Twitch?
Sam Whitworth said about an extra hallway.
Oh
scene.
yeah.
Oh, there's
The
another.
hallway.
Oh, that's what you meant.
So we could get that going along with Nathan's theory that we get another hallway scene where he's like, okay, I gotta go find Rex and Ahsoka, and then we see it from Maul's perspective of he looks down the hallway and they're all trying to open up a door, and then he does another hallway scene and kills him.
Maybe
Do you
Ahsoka
think-
does give him a lightsaber because she has to, just in the moment.
I really want to see Maul with a little blue lightsaber.
It'd be
That'd
so funny,
awesome.
but I don't know.
Wow.
That's just his color.
It's interesting just because it's the end and it's just crazy to just like even anticipate what's coming. Great that it's coming so soon, that it's coming in like a couple days now.
It's insane. So
Thank God.
we're gonna be here on May 4th, my birthday night, doing
Yes.
all this podcast.
Yes.
It's bittersweet, isn't it? Because like I don't want it to end.
Totally. Yeah, we've been with this show for what? Since 2008, over a
12
decade. 12
years.
years. That's crazy. I went through all of like high school and all of college with the Clone Wars. Like that's insane.
It's basically
This
the what?
reminds me of my story of just like, yeah, heck yeah, Force Awakens coming out, and I'm sitting in the theater for Trost. I'm just like, let's go.
You guys remember waking up every Saturday morning to see the new episode of Clone Wars?
It was Friday night, right?
Saturdays.
It was Friday.
No,
This
not
one.
not this new season. I'm talking about like
Oh.
on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, on Cartoon Network. It was on Friday night.
Yeah, I remember promo for the Chewie episode was for evenings.
Huh.
I mean, they changed-
Brandon's parents didn't let him stay up, and they made him watch the DVR Saturday morning.
Probably.
They brainwashed him. Your inhibitor chip is
Saturday
going
morning
off right
was
now.
for Static Shock and stuff. That's what I watched on Saturday.
Do you guys anticipate any form of a voiceover
What do you mean?
for the what?
for just the conclusion? Or
Imagine if we did get a Yularen wrap
because
up.
we got that for Rebels.
Because he does all the
Galaxy enslaved.
The galaxy is messed up. See you guys next time.
The Empire reigns.
Yeah, because we get a Yularen intro in every single episode. Imagine if we get a wrap up
Play
with
Fallen
Yularen.
Order.
The sinister Darth Vader makes his way against Palpatine's bidding.
But he said it in, like,
Josh Woodbury made a comment about like an Ahsoka epilogue that sets up the Rebels sequel. I don't think. I think we'll just see Rebels. I think we'll just see Ahsoka leaving. But I would love that if they do like a fast forward, just like they did at the end of Rebels. They did a fast forward through a couple years, and then we see like we could see Ahsoka's perspective of coming down to go meet Sabine. That'd be incredible. I would love that, but I doubt that's going to happen.
This is an interesting one. In akin to this, do you think we'll see? Probably, if I were to do this, like tie it in with the Obi-Wan message, do you think we'll see remaining Jedi go into hiding, like across the galaxy?
I think we'll see Cal Kestis. I think we'll see Cal.
Yeah,
Pop off
interesting
Cal
now.
Kestis.
Fingers crossed for
No.
Gunji. Fingers crossed, Gunji. Please let him.
we're not getting Gucci at this point.
Filoni, it's not too late. You can change this if you have him murdered.
It's so too late. It's in 2
If
days.
there's anywhere to put this montage of them going into hiding, it's here.
Yeah.
But
You guys say
Again, I don't
remaining-
know if it pulls away from Ahsoka and Rex too much. I just don't know. I'd have to.
Josh is with me.
Hey, I would probably because I
mean,
think
you-
that'd be cool to do. Maybe have like the young Kanan model they rendered, stuff like that. Let me dream.
Evan's like, no.
Like you said, what remaining Jedi? It's literally Obi-Wan and Yoda. Like
Yeah, but
that's
like
all we
see that.
Oh,
Again.
can see that. So like, what other remaining Jedi?
Had I not brought it up, and if it does happen, you would
Cersei.
be
I
livid.
think that's her name. I can't remember Fallen Order names right now.
Cersei, you mean
Oh,
Seer?
Seer,
Seer.
yeah.
I'm like Game of Thrones. I'm like, wait a second.
Got
That's
extra
what
silver
I'm
there.
thinking of. The Seer.
No,
well, we ain't seen her, so
no.
Really?
It's a video game that got developed in like 2018. So I don't know.
When did the Inquisitors kick off?
no, stop.
All right, I'm just
I mean-
making conversation. This is a Star Wars show.
Thinking of the Vader comic book, like I think it's just weeks after Revenge of the Sith. At that point,
Can you
no
imagine
return.
Clone Wars Inquisitors though, the animation style of them?
No, Brand.
that'd be really cool.
Hold on.
Karen,
Hold on. No, I just got like a cool little Star Wars Day mention. My 40th anniversary Han Solo Carbonite Funko shipping. It's going to be here on May 4th.
Oh, congratulations!
I know it's a completely side plot, but it's a complete tangent. But I just had to smile about that because I just got the thing.
It better be on the shelf during our episode on Monday.
Sean,
The payoff will not be
Which reminds me, I think I'm going to put it right
Trilla.
there.
Sean wants Trilla and Taryn Malikos. I mean, I love Trilla. She's freaking
Joe
awesome.
Costa.
Aaron Malikos is a joke.
I mean, we could see Trilla makes sense. I mean, I would love to see some Inquisitors. I love the concept of Inquisitors, but
I would love to just see like empty planets, man, or like empty spaces of just like. I would love to see Coruscant just
quiet.
quiet.
Like no ships flying and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that
the
would be-
moment that kind of just ceases the transition of like the chaos stops, but then like it just kind of slowly is nothing, and then things start moving again.
I mean, like, we kind of got that with in this episode. Like when they were arriving on that ship, it was all no
Yeah.
dialogue, just all that
Right.
great score. I would love that, Carson. Just shots of like depression, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like look
Imperial
what
flag
happened.
reigns across
Imperial
Yeah,
flag. reigns.
Imperial flag. That would be cool.
Wow, you know what? Now I really want to go to Coruscant. I really want.
That's
to go
what
to
I'm saying. Like, I feel like we kind of have to. Like, I don't know why, but like it's.
now I'm
literally
thinking,
going into the lion's den.
What if
Yeah.
what if they adapt a scene of just like a reckoning to the people of Coruscant, of just like the launch of the Empire. I mean, I know Palpatine did that.
You know
in the
what?
Senate chamber.
Fuck giving me the Jedi going into hiding. Give me the view of the people on Coruscant. That's what I want.
Let's end this with complete depression. Let's go.
Yes.
The people
No
on
hope. That is
Coruscant.
what Lucasfilm loves.
And Dave will do it. I know. he
Wait,
will.
really?
What?
Joe Costa? Yeah, I brought her
Uh,
up.
Yeah, Jocasta was in the Darth Vader comic book.
Yes, Josh, I would love
excuse me,
that.
The Star Wars Revenge of the Sith video game says otherwise.
that non-canon piece of. Yeah.
Wait, Revenge of the Sith video game where you
She-
can alternate end, have Anakin kill Palpatine. It's mine. The galaxy's mine to rule.
No, the galaxy is mine. Well, the galaxy belongs to me now.
All right, World Between Worlds. Let's go.
Yo, can I get a wolf one time?
Oh, Loaf Wolf.
That'd be awesome. Oh,
Little
we
cat?
could get what's it called? That one bird thing from the Morningstar.
Ooh,
Yes.
What is it called, guys? Somebody help me out here. Somebody in the comments would know. But yeah,
Force Owl.
the Force Owl thing, because like we've seen that everywhere she went in Rebels. So I would love when she's like walking off into the sunset or something at the end of this episode. If that
Yeah.
bird is with her,
Be
I'm
nice
calling it right
detail.
now. It's gonna happen. Calling it.
Oh, that'd be great. I would
$20.
love
No, I'm kidding.
Now I'm gonna be crying, and then the birds gonna pop up on screen. I'm like, God damn it, Evan.
You just
it.
hear
Take
me
you from
laughing.
sad to sadder.
Oh man, it's going to be a lot of great stuff, a lot of sadness. But then Star Wars always is so good with Morai. Thank you very much, Josh. Star Wars is always so good with mixing in that hope with sadness. I think the ending of Revenge of the Sith is such a perfect ending. I love it.
Oh, it's perfect. Everything from just the whole Vader suit up, which is just heartbreaking enough. But like when he's like stepping onto the Star Destroyer, looking at the Death Star, when Leia's being transported to Alderaan, Luke to Tatooine, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and Padme's funeral. Oh man,
God, and everything. It's just.
But I think
really done.
I think we're gonna. It's gonna feel bittersweet, mostly because you know that line Anakin says like at the first episode of this arc, like we're not even done fighting this war or something.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just gonna feel satisfying for Ahsoka and Rex in the sense that they're gonna complete their journeys for this part of their life, but also it's like you had to have that underlying like, okay, there's still the Empire reigns now, like, you know, it's still got to transition into the rest of this era somehow.
I hope the arc end says now go watch Rebels, everyone.
Yeah,
please.
That'd be incredible.
Ahsoka will return in
Ahsoka will
Star Wars
return.
Rebels.
Oh my God.
What is this, Marvel?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s signature. Ashley Eckstein starts signing the credits.
Executive producer Kevin Feige. Oh
my God.
And then the final signature is Dave Filoni with this. You got a wolf in the background.
That'd be fun.
I'm gonna miss this show so much.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as that goes, we're gonna tackle the finale and we're gonna be doing a whole say goodbye to Rebel.
Big sad on Monday.
Big sad on May the 4th. That's how we're gonna be celebrating with depression. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Anything else you guys want to touch on?
Yeah.
No.
No. I thought Brandon was gonna say something.
I'm trying to think.
We will be back in like 2 days.
Yeah, we will be back in what? Yeah, 2 days.
days.
Oh,
2,
3.
3 days.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
3 days.
We're also doing an episode next Friday where we'll be covering the Mandalorian featurette, the documentary.
Yeah, so that's all dropping. So by Monday they're dropping episode 1. So
yeah, I don't know when episode 2 comes out.
What?
Do you think it will be Mondays? It could be.
That's what I'm confused about. Is it going to be Monday or are we going to get episode 2 on Friday? I'm not sure.
If anything, do you think they're going to break it down like does every episode of Mando get its own documentary?
I think so. I think there's 8.
Well, they confirmed it's 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's not about each episode. It's just like different.
Yeah, because it's different categories. It's like the directors and then the
definitely give me
ILM stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely give me some incentive to rewatch Mando again, which is always great.
I need to.
Yeah, I was like, I'm rewatching it through like my edits, but it's
yeah, I've never rewatched the series, or I never rewatched an episode.
It goes by really fast. Like if you just put it on and it just starts playing, it's.
Remember the one, especially that one is like 17 minutes. Do you remember that? When
what?
No, it's like 20, or maybe it's like 22 minutes or something.
Oh yeah,
we were all like baffled by it.
Is it episode 5 or something?
So it's 40, and this one was like half. I was like, what? There's no consistent like fill time, but I guess whatever tells your story best.
So Monday, are we going to talk just Clone Wars and Mando, or are we just Clone Wars?
We're going to tackle the Mando stuff on back to our regular Fridays.
Got it.
But
cool.
It's going to be a special May the 4th Goodbye Clone Wars, and just remembering it from like our whole start of where we started watching it, our whole journey with it.
On Friday nights.
and if we have time, we can share our Star Wars stories maybe.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like stuff like that. It's a celebration of May the 4th.
And
Star Wars Day.
Upcoming, I finished Star Wars Resistance, so stay tuned for
oh yeah, we'll do that.
A full review.
Nathan.
And
go ahead and start, buddy.
Just binge it in 1 week.
You could easily.
Yeah.
And I have nothing really else. I just like I'm gonna be building some Legos this weekend. Lego Star Wars is gonna be fun.
Nice.
When is that game coming out? It's supposed to come out this year.
I don't know when the game. I'm getting physical sets. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Yes, Resistance. Yeah. I said this on Twitter. Resistance Season 2 was amazing, and I'm so surprised that nobody else is talking about it. Literally, I don't know if I missed the discourse on it.
You talked about it.
It's so good. I was so surprised.
That's going to be replacing Clone Wars for me. I'm going to instantly be starting up Resistance, as well as I'm going to like be watching Rebels on the side.
I'm about to say Rebels is my favorite Star Wars. I think behind, I don't want to see too much hyperbole, but behind The Last Jedi and Empire, Rebels might be my favorite Star Wars story, just in general. It's so good.
Yeah. I feel like I have a bias to Resistance because we're friends with Christopher Sean, but at the same time, it is really good.
Go watch it. It's on Disney Plus now. Season 2 is finally there.
Like I know Sean used to talk about it a lot when I was watching it. Like the world building is crazy good. Like hell, just like the Colossus has so many different species on it. It's great.
Yeah.
For how I'll just say for how small the show is relative to, everything the big happening in the galaxy and the overlapping timeline with the sequel trilogy, it does a really good job of like telling its story that feels small, but like yet makes like a huge impact on its characters. I don't know. It's like the climaxes will be like, oh, we got to take down this one ship, and it's like, it's not that big of a deal, but it's like you're so invested in it. You're like, oh my god,
you're invested in the story and the steady.
Yeah,
characters.
I remember the whole. It was the thing I picked up. I made a post about it when they dropped the first look at season 2. I was comparing the like to dislike ratios between the first look of season 1 and 2 because when they first showed season 1, everybody was like, "What is this trash? What? This isn't the Rebel sequel." Like, but then you get to season 2 and everybody's just like super hyped for it, and it's just like, yeah, you just gotta give it a chance, idiots.
Exactly. People do the same thing about Rebels in season 1. They're like, "Oh, this sucks." And
the lightsaber is skinny.
Oh my god, his lightsaber's a blaster.
Yeah, people hated that.
It shoots stun shots.
I can't wait to rewatch it.
I can't wait to rewatch it.
It's such a great rewatch. Like I could rewatch it again right now. It's such a I love that show so much.
I'm waiting till I finish Clone Wars. Like, one of my friends in another group chat I'm in, he has not seen Rebels. He has not seen anything for Rebels. So he's about to have the best watching experience out of literally everyone.
He's never seen anything for Rebels.
He
live under a rock.
Literally, like,
no.
It's crazy because like he knows nothing about it, so he's about to have the best viewing experience at all because he doesn't know what's going to happen with
anybody really.
Ahsoka. He's not with Rex. He doesn't know what happens.
Yeah,
World
and Gregor
was mind shattering for me, dude.
Yeah, and like the Kanan episode, I cried big time. Like like Iron Man's death, crying. Like I was in puddle of tears.
You can find footage of me on this channel of me crying my eyes out.
This Sabine episode
I have to
where
watch
like
that
she's training. What's that? Trials of the Darksaber.
Trials of the Darksaber.
Legendary episode.
Iconic.
I bawled.
Yeah.
So good. Plenty of great stuff. Thrawn, Bendu, everything.
Oh yeah, Thrawn.
Right? That guy?
Oh yeah,
Blue guy.
Oh my
He
god.
could be in the Clone Wars finale.
Well, we are about to hit 140, so I think that's a good place.
Longest episode yet.
No, that was last time. That was
Last
like
week.
142. We're at
We're
137.
gonna break the YouTube algorithm.
Well,
Let's go.
Well,
Please
we
leave
still
a
have
like.
to talk about that Fallen Order sequel.
No.
We'll talk about that next time.
Next episode.
We can just give our quick thoughts.
No.
I'm excited.
No.
Boom. Done.
Everyone's excited. It's Fallen Order. How
What
many
are the
times
holocron we have to destroy?
in this episode alone? But yeah, this was a great time. It was great talking to everybody here. Like I said, join us in a couple days from May the 4th, where we're going to be celebrating Clone Wars, saying goodbye to it. It's going to be bittersweet to say goodbye, but it's also going to be oh so joyous to get that final completion that Dave wanted forever. But it was a great time talking with all you guys. Brandon, where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me at Phantasmic. I wish I could change my name on the little thing so we can just search it, but it's at Phantasmic Ears, FANTASMIC Ears. I tweet up at the Star War. I'm probably going to be pretty active on Twitter this weekend talking about all this Clone Wars stuff. So hit me up there.
Awesome. Evan, where can they find you?
They can find me at HarrisEV9 on Twitter. Getting hyped for May the 4th, my birthday. Watching the Clone Wars finale. We get a Mando documentary. It's going to be a very jam-packed day. And I get to end it all by talking Star Wars with you guys and crying about the end of the Clone Wars. So yeah, thanks for everybody for watching, and see you guys next time.
I keep forgetting to give my closing thoughts.
What?
I keep forgetting to give my closing thoughts. I just plug my. Every time Evan hops on, I'm like, oh damn, I forgot. So, like Evan said, I'm also excited to watch this new Clone Wars episode. I'm excited to talk to you guys about our Star Wars story. I'm excited to celebrate Evan's birthday on Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah. But thank you guys again for watching. It really means a lot to us. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Olivinsky. And thank you, Trevor.
All right, Carson, where can they find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at The Force Critic. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and staying up late with us. It's more fun when we have these live comments and people hop in and ask questions. But yeah, I'm just as excited to finish Clone Wars, but I'm also regretting it because I don't want this show to end because it's been with me for such a good chunk of my Star Wars fandom and just my life in general. It's crazy that it's ending. But we'll be here Monday night to talk about it. So I'll see you guys then.
And as always, if you want to find all that info and follow me and everybody else, you just check the link in the descriptions below. It's a great time, great show. Love talking all the time. Always fantastic. But with that being said, guys, we tend to stream every Friday nights / Saturday mornings. So if you want to catch us, you can do that there. And if you did enjoy this stream, hit the like button, subscribe if not already. And that being said, hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.